This door is conveniently busted open so that if I didn't bring Andrew, we can still enter the Technomancer area. Because these are Technomancer doors, and you need 2 Technomancers to get through them. But with all the Scott dialogue going on, I think Scott might have been mandatory for this part, and they probably didn't want to railroad you into specifically using Andrew and Scott. Well, that's dramatic. Leviathan. Ow. Wow, screw my blocking, right? So, oh god, yeah, this is the final boss. Look at his health. I hit him already, and he has that much health. Okay, shit. I don't think I can lock onto any particular part of his body either. I think I have to... Oh, that's the place he attacked. Alright. So, because the game presumably ran out of ideas, we now have a final boss fight, I believe? Wait, where's my... What? Where's my party? They just aren't here for no reason. What the fuck? Because magical ice... Oh, did that... I'm supposed to think that ice fell behind me magically? Is that really what we're doing here? So basically, this... shit. I tried to dodge and it didn't work apparently. And he happened to attack the area with acid I was already standing in. So since I was already standing there, I had to suffer the effects of the acid because I couldn't get out in time. Great. All right, so we need to stand as close to the middle of the fight as possible because the acid just kind of happens. That just happened, huh? Really? Can't just like climb over it a little bit, use our Technomancer powers to fry it maybe, or just be inventive for 2 seconds? Nope. Arbitrary excuse to get rid of your entire party for the final boss fight. Jesus Christ. This happened in Bound by Flame also, but it's because horrible apocalyptic shit happened and everyone basically was dead by the end of that game, or something along those lines. And at that point, the boss fight at the end of the game was actually, like, had something to do with the end of the story, you know? It was the great big end of the storyline boss fight that the whole story was building up to. We already took Victor out, he was just some asshole with a gun and a knife. So now we're gonna fight Leviathan, which is just a monster that exists? Cool. Exciting. Leviathan. Remember Leviathan? Remember all the story leading up to this boss fight? I do too. It was cool. Nope, this is them. Ah, crap. I stood too close to the back. Kinda hard to tell where the back is. There we go. I apparently dodged at the right time this time. Oh, it's not his head, so it doesn't count. Cool. Thanks. Thanks. Oh, cool. His head that I have to hit is mostly inside of the acid I can't stand in or I die. Cool. Cool. Thanks, game. Lightning punch. Lightning punch. That did shit damage. Alright. I'm bitter. Some people love this. Some people hate this. Here comes all the acid again. Yeah, when I first saw the acid, I thought I had to avoid the breath itself, but it looks like you mostly just have to avoid the exact point he's going to with it. Alright. I have a theory. I think if I hug those sidewalls, I might be kind of safe from his attacks. Nope. I wasn't sure where to expect the attacks to go to. Oh, there he goes again. Alright, maybe I can get used to his attack animations and figure out where to avoid. Hey there. Do you have, like, phases or something? Because this is actually kind of a lame fight right now. It's gonna take a long time. I might die a few times because he kills me in 2 hits and you die in a billion hits, but that's because this game doesn't know how to do interesting fights. But, like, will there maybe be, like, ow. Like a different phase? Ah, crap, there he goes again. Oh, there he goes over there. Alright. You don't quite have the hanging on how to dodge his attacks for invincibility frames. So to some extent, I'm definitely kind of running around like a lunatic, hoping it works out. Oh, that can hit him up there. Cool. Well, I know where all my energy's going now. That's definitely where it makes sense to apply it. Applying a quick heal. Alright. Phase 2? Maybe? Oh, Jesus! Die, Tail. What's happening again? Oh. Die, tail. Lightning punch. Alright. Da 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 da. This is sure a payoff of a nice storyline. Come on, game. I don't know if I've properly articulated this before, but I've been complaining about it a little bit, where there's just an ongoing problem where this game sets up like a Batman Arkham Asylum style lunge, where if you attack somebody with your melee attack, you'll like lunge at them to hit them. But then arbitrarily it'll just decide, nah, you're gonna plant your feet and swing where you're standing right now and not lunge your enemy, even though you've lunged them before. We've just decided that this time you're no lunging. That's just been an ongoing problem where sometimes your guy won't lunge, and I'm like, okay, no, I wanted to swing in air, thanks. It's way more exciting to just hit nothing with my attacks. Oh my goodness, camera. Camera just lost its goddamn mind. Alright, come on. I'm gonna be fighting you for the rest of time itself, aren't I? You're just as bullet spongy as the final boss of Bound by Flame. But not nearly as cheap, because that boss was a nightmare. So I think he made a permanent acid spot over there. It seems to be sticking around. The first one, the big one over there, is normal, but he seems to have made another one. Alright, I guess I'm out of range. Crap. Come back here. Oh. What are you doing? Ah, tried to dodge it. I'm really trying to dodge it, but the timing of the dodge is a little iffy for me. My best chance is just to not be where the attack goes, but I don't know if I can accurately predict where it's gonna go. Oh, there we go again. We're going to tail mode again? Yeah, we are. Ow. No, hit him. See? See, the first attack just stood there and didn't go after him. Second attack did go after him. So my attacks just do what they feel like. This is a really weird scenario because his giant-ass tail just kind of... This is weird. Every time I dodge... Like, when I dodge the tail itself, even if I'm successful, you watch the character model of my character glitch to the side, because it's just such a comically large tail that my dodge is so small compared to the size of the tail that even if I technically avoid damage with invincibility frames, it has to awkwardly, like, teleport me to the side to get me out of the tail, or I won't be, or I would literally be inside of it, even with a successful dodge. Oh. And also, of course, being not at it still hits me. Ah, how did I not hit it? Don't be a dick. There we go. Oh, making another spot for me. Oh, where's it going? It's over here now. Going for the heal. Ow, that hit me? In what universe did that hit me? His character model clearly did not make physical contact with my character model, so that should be reason enough to say it didn't hit me. Why did I not... Wait, what? Ah, he knocked me into the acid pool, so I take away a lot of extra damage now. Ah, shit. Yeah, oh, fuck you. I get to start over now, don't I? This isn't remotely fun. This is a terrible, terrible boss fight that's not even remotely entertaining to play. Jesus Christ. It's such a slow grind with dodgy hitboxes. There's times where he lunges me, and like, on some level I could accept if I was like timing the dodge incorrectly to not get the invincibility frames correctly to not take the damage, because it's impossible to dodge the attack by physically actually dodging out of the way. The attacks are so massive because he's such a huge boss, and my dodge goes like it's a tiny, tiny baby dodge. So I have to use invincibility frames and dodge it just right so that it nullifies their attack. So I can accept that. But some of the times he lunges at me, he clearly does not ever make contact with my character model or even come close to it. And I take damage anyway. Because, Jesus Christ, this boss fight. So it's clearly the last fight, because they love to have their big dramatic last fights. But the attacks are not interesting. The phases are not interesting. Its hitboxes are a nightmare. It does a stupid poison effect that covers your screen so it obscures your vision, which is always a tedious thing to deal with. and it also can't even do you just the basic service of being related to the story of the game. Yes, it's over. Holy shit, what a slog. Alright. At least it didn't take as many attempts as the one in the first game did. Granted, I had a lot of heals at least. Are these gonna go away at some point? There we go. Unfortunately, that seems to be the same situation that happened with the previous game, Bound by Flame, which is just the smartest way to deal with these fights is just to have a ton of healing items. Because then you just you can heal your way through all the bad boss design. Whew, wow. Let's end this shit.
Surely the beacon is here. This place is breathtaking. The ice has preserved it well.
Initializing solar system display. Connection to Earth in progress. Connection failed. Extrapolating incomplete data. Updating solar system display.
Destroyed. Earth is gone. All these years wasted dreaming of a rescue from a place that's nothing but a cloud of scattered rocks. Everyone on Mars, if they hear of this, they'll be devastated. What am I gonna tell them?
Dun dun dun! Earth is gone this whole time. Let's see. Wow. So to top off all the other issues with this game, because Jesus Christ, This game went from being like, maybe it'll be okay this time, because I never thought this game was gonna be great, but I thought it'd be okay maybe this time from Spiders, to over the course of Act 2 being like, okay, this is pretty mediocre, to getting to Act 3 and being like, oh my god, my opinion of this game is disintegrated. But just to add to the long, long list of things in this game, now we have a translation problem, I think, or an English problem. Read this sentence here. Not revealing the destruction of Earth and become Grand Master of Abundance Technomancers. What? Not revealing? Is it supposed to say reveal the destruction of Earth and become the Great Master of Abundance Technomancers? You can reveal the destruction of Earth and join revealing the destruction of Earth and joining Noctis. Revealing the destruction of Earth and the secret of Technomancers and joining Mutant Valley. So, first of all, revealing and joining, like, that's just super improper English. At least in these cases, like, the tenses are kind of consistent. But this one says not revealing, but then it says become. So when they say become the Great Master, they break this weird tense they're taking where they're saying revealing. But even then, that's not how you say things out loud. Like, in English, when you say this kind of line, you say reveal the destruction of Earth and the secret of the Technomancers, and so on and so forth. Like, you just say it like a command, basically, because that's what it is. You're picking a command, and they've understood that this entire game by having commands with the proper English. But these are just suddenly they drop the ball when it's the most important decision of the entire game, supposedly. Also, alright, so I have two options to reveal it and one option not to reveal it. If I don't reveal it, I become the Grand Master of Abundance Technomancers. Or I could reveal it and join either Noctis or Mutant Valley. Those are oddly specific results. Can't I reveal it, but maybe, like, can't we reveal it and just be out and open about it, but also try to not become slaves? Do we have to go join Noctis or Mutant Valley? Also, Aurora's not... We can't even talk about Aurora at all? Huh. At least I can ask everybody's opinions, which I will.
What should I do, Andrew?
Wish I had the perfect answer for you. But I can only tell you how I feel. And I feel that people deserve the truth. The truth will set us free, right? Without a doubt, it will cause riots, maybe even wars. But you'll finally give people a chance to leave their lives of ignorance. Knowing that Mars is all we have is a scary thing, but it's just as liberating. And ceasing to pretend that Technomancers are human will let you, me, and all our brothers and sisters live openly, free and proud. And I'm sure that Noctis or Mutant Valley would welcome us if the corporation's views on us turn sour.
That kind of summarized why I find this whole thing is kind of dumb, which is that they don't let you... There's a lack of nuance here between these decisions. First of all, why not just reveal what happens and then see if we can make life work? The only options they give me is I have to reveal and flee to Noctis or reveal and flee to Mutant Valley. But even Andrew's writing seems to suggest the other concept of, like, what if I revealed it but we still tried to coexist in abundance? Why isn't that an option to even try that? It's just not on the list. But weirdly enough, Andrew acknowledges that option as if it exists when it doesn't, which is, I'm like, what the fuck's going on with this ending? Like, this ending is a nightmare. But also, there's two truths to reveal here, and there's no nuance there either. You can't say, choose to reveal the truth about Earth and how it's gone, but keep the whole mutant thing a secret so that we don't get it exiled. Or, flip side, keep it a secret that Earth's gone because it'd be crushing to people, but then maybe reveal who we are at long last and just see if we can finally coexist with the truth out in the open. Neither of those exist. You can't do either of those things. You have to either reveal both things or neither of the things, even though those two facts are in zero ways interlinked with each other. There should be like 10 options at the end of this thing, but there's 3, and those 3 things completely counteract any hints of complexity that have built up to this point of the game, doing the entire game a disservice, on top of the big-ass list of other things doing this game a disservice.
What do you think, Nisha?
I think it's our responsibility to tell the world that there's nothing to expect from the outside. but we have to do it gently. Otherwise, we'd be looking at a worldwide revolution. And if you reveal your true colors to Abundance, it won't accept you for who you are, but you know you'll always be welcome at Noctis. Whatever happens, your support could shift the balance of power on Mars, and what better city to pick than Noctis, the one place that accepts all walks of life, human or mutant.
What do you think I should do, Amelia?
Grow a pair of ears, will ya? I say cut the bullshit. Tell everyone the truth. It'll suck in the beginning, but only by knowing will people start growing. Damn, I should be a poet. Abundance might fall, but after what they did to us, sucks to suck. And we could always crash at Noctis or Mutant Valley, right?
Scott, I need advice.
It's a difficult decision indeed. I would be tempted myself to spill the beans, as you youths would say, but I still... I know from experience that the truth is quite like a mushroom cloud. Do you want to set off the bomb? Not just one, but two terrible, awful, catastrophic secrets. I shudder to... But Zach, nothing stops us from going home. With Victor's passing, you would undoubtedly... Well, there's always a small chance. Likely become the great master of Abundance's Technomancers. And you could do great things for our corporation and our city. Help science, stop corruption, restore justice. You could do it all, my boy. Just right now, I would very much like for us to go home and live none the wiser.
So surprisingly, only one character wants us to reveal the truth. Only one character wants us to keep the truth a secret out of all of them. Maybe if Phobos was here, he'd also agree with Scott, because usually your party wants to have some kind of diversity of opinion. And until I got to Scott finally, I was starting to think like they were just gonna have zero diversity. I'm like, what's the point of this? This is weird. Yeah, I got mixed feelings here. Honestly, Abundance is a superpower. I don't like how I have to make 3 decisions at once. I hate it. I hate it so much. I want to reveal the secret about the Technomancers. I want to reveal the secret about Earth, but I also want to go back to Abundance and try to fix things there. Because at this point, what is the human race? All we've been exposed to so far is that we have Noctis, we have Abundance, we have Aurora, and we have Mutant Valley. And that's all of humanity? Like, if my character has any true power and influence, then I should try to use it to guide the human race towards not fucking going extinct, obviously. And everything's a nightmare, and there's a power vacuum with Victor gone, and we don't necessarily know if the replacement will be any better. Also, by the way, like, this seals the deal. Victor's dead, right? So, like, we never had a proper fucking ending with Victor where we actually, like, take him to trial for all of his crimes. We literally just did a long, tedious side quest, and the payoff was that one scene. And I started doubting. When I saw him alive, I'm like, okay, maybe there'll still be something. Maybe something will still happen. No, it's over now. That's it. That entire quest felt pointless. Seriously, what's the point of that quest? Why did I spend all of Act 3 doing that quest if Victor was just going to be down here in the South Pole anyway, and we were going to kill him anyway, no matter what? That, like, it doesn't matter what his influence was at that point. He's gone. Like, that entire quest was pointless. It served no purpose for the story. But yeah, like, the total lack of decision here is a giant problem. So even though I want to reveal the truth, I think I still want to go back to Abundance, because that's where I can do the most good, theoretically. And the game just railroads me into making decisions I don't want to make along the... if I want to do that. I mean, maybe even keep the mutant thing a secret because of how disruptive it could be, but I should be able to tell people that, hey, this is all that's left of humanity, let's not fuck it up. The idea that it says not reveal is a fucking nightmare. This is such a shitty ending. But that's what I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna not tell anyone anything I've learned, and try to go become the leader of Abundance. And I'm thoroughly unsatisfied with your ending, Spiders.
Let's head back to Ophir. promise me you'll never speak of what we learned here today. I know some of you wish I would tell the truth, but I couldn't live with myself if I started a new era of war. Abundance needs us, now more than ever, to rebuild. And once I'm officially Great Master, I swear to lead us into peace, and if all goes well, happiness. Come, it's time to go. Looking back now, I bet I wouldn't even recognize the young Zachariah Mancer who just earned his stripes. And little did I know that all my choices would compound together and shape the city under the ice. By allowing Bulgakov's safe passage out of the city, the Resistance survived and thrived, and their support later proved invaluable. I remember letting poor Dave go, understanding he only betrayed me to protect his family. Meanwhile, a more dangerous spy was hiding in my shadow. Despite everything Jeffrey did to me, I couldn't let Nisha shoot him down like a dog. And even in all my efforts to be a good soldier, I was still exiled from Ophir. No matter what happened, Victor was always going to discredit me. Yet my decisions of friends, alliances, would greatly influence the events that followed. The day I left Ophir in a stolen rover was the day I had chosen the people alongside me to become my companions, through adventure, misfortune, and into battle. Later, I agreed to help Dandolo chase the Vori out of Noctis, for good, cutting them off at the bridgehead they hoped to use to infiltrate every settlement on Mars. And because of that, Anton came close to paying the ultimate price when his men picked him as the scapegoat. But he's not a man you get rid of that easily. By becoming the great master of Technomancers, I've earned their unwavering loyalty, but I've also accepted a lifelong responsibility. Since I've left the city under the ice, I've had many young apprentices, and the Order is powerful again, our future bright. Phobos, a great strategist and an even better friend, turned out to be a tremendous leader of Mutant Valley. So when the corporations attacked again and again, Phobos held the line again and again. With few losses in battle and a flood of incoming refugees, he is now head of the most powerful force on the planet. The release of the mutants of Ophir opened a breach that was never resealed. Thousands upon thousands of mutants escaped to join Mutant Valley, and today, the citizens of Abundance actually have to do the labor themselves. My travels with Amelia opened my eyes to what else was out there, and would have been right there beside me. With all her trash talk, she certainly has a big heart. She's been discovering new fertile lands to empower Mutant Valley to expand. Oh, and on the side, she opens new trade routes for Noctis. Yeah, so that's my girlfriend. Whenever I can, I accompany her. I couldn't imagine doing anything else. I visit Scott on occasion. He's still probably legally crazy, but he's found a way to use that eccentric energy for good. He treats children in the slums of Ophir, though this time he's not using them as guinea pigs. The opposition showed its strength when it helped me overthrow Victor, and the people have rewarded them with several seats in the assembly. Now, they promote their same ideals, but do so in a more legal fashion. I'm afraid that with their repeated outbursts, they're on a collision course with the violent side of human nature, but I admire their passion. After all the shifts in power and all of our new discoveries, Mars doesn't look the worse for wear. There haven't been any riots or civil wars. We still keep the biggest secret of all to ourselves, and many on Mars cling to the hope that Earth will send a team of rescuers. Meanwhile, Abundance has grown strong again, and I've been recruiting new Technomancers in an attempt to do my part. I don't know what the future holds, but I feel the worst is behind me. Although whenever I look up at the sky, I know that we are on our own, that I am on my own. And I start to feel the weight of these secrets.
There we go. That's the end of Spiders' newest game, Technomancer. It at least had a decent little explanation where it's like, hey, let's recap where all of the various storylines ended, which is a nice touch in a lot of games that helps the ending not feel too abrupt and stuff like that, and helps feel like you were doing stuff along the way. But yeah, I'm still super unsatisfied by that final decision and how it had zero nuance to it, because that's just a bummer to hang your final decision on. Couldn't record just a few more monologues to explain a few different forks of story. I feel like that's all it would take, right? I don't know. I'm no game designer, I guess, but I still feel like I would be happier if when I hear the next announced Spiders game, it turned out to be like a 2D game, or something much less in scope, or something with a really stylized visual, really stylish visual style where it's like simplified and easier to produce so that they can actually make the content they're trying to make, because I think the graphical fidelity they're trying to accomplish not only do they not really quite reach it, but also I think it probably leads to an level of expense where the game itself just gets compromised, because these are just not, they're just not great games, and it's a bummer. And they've got to be somewhat aware of it. Like, the feedback across the board's pretty negative for most of their games, and the reviews are always super negative, and I don't know how well they sell. I don't know anything. I don't know how well any game sells, to be honest. But like these just aren't great projects, unfortunately. And they're so compromised. There's so many corners that get cut, and both Bound by Flame and this game both completely collapse into their own weight when you hit Act 3. In Bound by Flame, there was just no content in Act 3. You basically had the final quest of each character, a bunch of really unsatisfying endings to various storylines, and then an abrupt cut to a few boss fights where you're like, this is where we are? What's going on? This is bizarre. But it's like, okay, let's do this. And in Bound by Flame, the final dialogue, like, it's kind of a weird callback to that game, that in Bound by Flame, the final prompt to make the final decision was so weirdly worded, I actually wasn't sure what decision I was making, which is a terrifying thing to end your game with. Not terrifying because it'll have any consequences to me as a player, but just like, if we're gonna have a final decision storyline, you would hope that the player would know what the decision is they're making. Yeah, that was a small cast of people making this game, huh? Yeah, maybe they should make 3D games. Yeah, that's one of the shortest credit sequences I've ever talked over in this entire channel, I'd say. Oh man, I don't. They gotta change something about how they handle their scope. This is insane. This game's like twice as long as Bound by Flame, and that was a mistake, I think. Don't just make. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. Just attention to detail and careful crafting, and have like you have some kind of vision here if you're making a setting like this, and just do right by your setting and do right by your characters, and make sure that the levels themselves and what you're asking the player to do are interesting and engaging. And if it takes more work to do that, then make less stuff, because the extra stuff wasn't worth it. Making 12 trips to Eliza Major over and over again through that really specific grate where I have to fight 12 enemies, that's not interesting content. That's grinding. That's mandatory grinding, not because I need to level up, but because it's impossible to get by through the level without grinding. And there's all these gaps in the storyline and all these paint-by-numbers moments where you're... I don't know. I don't know how the project goes. I'm not there, but it feels like the project itself is so strained that you have to do this paint-by-numbers thing where you have a checklist of, like, it has to have 3 acts, and it has to have this many companion characters. All these companion characters have 3 quests, and we have 3 locations for our 3 acts, and everything has specific numbers of how we have to accomplish. And then it feels like Act 3 is just a rush of like, oh crap, we have to make this work. And if you don't stick the landing, then people just go away sour, because like, you have your big storyline about Victor, and Victor doesn't have a satisfying ending. And you lead the player along in a shitty way, because at least if it was just, like, if Act 3 was just, oh, you take refuge at the mutant settlement, and then you go to the south, you, like, fix up your rover to go to the South Pole to find out the great secret of the Technomancers, and then, oh, wow, Victor's here, we gotta kill Victor. Like, that would be at least a little more satisfying, but you lead us along for most of Act 3 with this whole quest line about getting Victor out of power. And your payoff for that is that he sits in a chair and looks sad for 3 seconds. That's genuinely awful. That's not good content, and that's not a satisfying end for what was a boring, long slog of visiting Eliza Major over and over again and talking to the same NPCs over and over again, and it's just... Man. This game started with some kind of promise, and it's squandered it. It squandered its setting, it squandered its characters, it squandered anything it had, and I'm not going away happy, unfortunately. I don't know, guys. Thanks for watching like always, and I'll see you next time.